Hi, everyone, and a pleasant good evening to you wherever you may be. I am Tony Abatey. Welcome back into Duckbait TV as we're getting set to bring you Fort Scott Lady Tiger basketball here this evening against the St. Mary's Colgan Panthers from just down the road in Pittsburgh. And looking forward to this one here tonight as the Lady Tigers and Lady Panthers. I don't remember the last time these two teams played, but they're two of the better programs in Southeast Kansas of recent note. They're just in different leagues, so they don't play very often. But we're looking forward to this one here tonight as the Lady Tigers and Lady Panthers get set to face off in this contest here this evening. Fort Scott Let's see if we can get the starters here and let you know who those will be for each team. So it looks like St. Mary's Colgan will go with senior Lauren O'Brien, senior Mariah Harris, senior Molly Swayze, junior Jakayla Davis, and senior Kyla Osborne. Their head coach is Abby Farabi. She has done a phenomenal job in her tenure as Lady Panther head coach, as they've had a remarkable record, and they are doing that again this year, 9-0 overall this year. So far, they're 4-0 in the CNC league, and haven't really had very many close games on their record so far this year. I think the closest, I was looking at things last night, they defeated Carl Junction earlier this year, 48-40. I think that's the closest game that they've had all year long. And so they have blown some teams out. We'll see what they can do against the Tigers here tonight. Fort Scott, of course, comes in with head coach Bashan Steps at 8-1 overall. They're going to start with 5'6" junior Abby Gorman, 5'5" senior Allie Brown, as Fort Scott wins the opening tip here. And they get it down to Comstock, and Kylie gets the first bucket there. Kylie, one of the starters tonight for Fort Scott. She stands at 6 foot and is a senior. Claire McElroy is a 5'9" junior, and J.C. Rogers a 5'9" junior. Quick steal for Fort Scott, and they'll get it over to Brown. Shot there is blocked. Ball loose inside, finally picked up by Colgan, and they will kick it off there to Davis, and she'll bring it back the other way. Again, Fort Scott leads this one 2-0. Here in the early going. And Michaela Davis hits a three-pointer, so Colgan takes the lead there, 3-2. Now Fort Scott gets it into the front court. And they'll run a little bit of clock time. Again, no shot clock here in this weekend. Little scoop layup doesn't go for Fort Scott. And Colgan comes away with a rebound. We'll head back the other way here. O'Brien has it on the left wing. Now out top. Back to O'Brien. Fort Scott in that 2-3 zone here. And Colgan gets it to Harris in the middle. Shot there doesn't go, but Colgan comes away with the rebound. Colgan in their road blue uniforms with the white letters and numbers. White and gray trim. That trim looking very much, well, the boys look like KU's. That's not quite like what KU wore last year, I guess. But we got a whistle here, and jump ball. Possession arrow favors Colgan. Of course, Fort Scott in their home white uniforms with the red letters and numbers. red and black trim. Pass up to the top, taken away there by Colgan. They kick it over left side to Osborne. Now they try to go back to the right side. Fort Scott trying to pressure as much as they can. Kick comes left side to Osborne. Now back up top. Pass might have been deflected by Brown, but Colgan able to secure it. Now they'll go left side. 5:45 to play in the first quarter. Pass goes inside. We got a whistle, and it looks like a foul on the floor here. Foul's on J.C. Rogers, her first. Team's first of the contest here. Inbounds play comes in. I think, they're going to say Fort Scott got a hand on that one to knock it out of bounds. Tough luck for the Lady Tigers. It'll stay with Colgan. .5:38 left to go in the first quarter. Colgan with the basketball. They'll sling it right side of the wing. Pass there deflected, and they're going to get a foul on Fort Scott. Comstock got a blocked shot, but I think they're going to get a foul on McElroy, and they are. So tough luck there for Claire and the Lady Tigers. And free throws coming for Colgan. It is Molly Swayze at the line, or Swayze. First free throw is good. Second free throw is good. We'll have a substitution here. Looks like Bella Escanio, a sophomore. I was waiting to see how the public address announcer announced that. And now Aubrey Yarrick will check in for the Lady Tigers, a 5'8 junior, as Brown will come out for a quick breather. Also, Janessa Davis, a junior for Colgan, checks in. Fort Scott able to get it across the timeline and get it back to Rogers. Now to McElroy. Over to Gorman at the top of the key. Gorman kicks it inside. There's a shot by Comstock, no good. A putback is no good, but a foul. And I think this is going to send the Lady Tigers to the free throw line. So Jakayla Davis will pick up her first foul, Colgan's first foul. And it sends Aubrey Yarrick to the free throw line, and she makes the first. Second one on the way. That one is good as well. So Fort Scott back to a 1-point deficit here. Colgan able to get it up the floor to the right wing. Now back around to Davis. She'll drive into the lane. Little floater there. That falls off the rim, no good. Ball goes out of bounds. And they say last touch by Fort Scott. Brown will check back in now for the Tigers as Allie Wheeler will check in also. Allie, a 5'6 sophomore for the Lady Tigers. Looks like Rogers and McElroy the ones checking out for Fort Scott. Inbounds play here, and that one's going to be knocked out of bounds. And they say it was last touch by Fort Scott. So it'll be back to the Panthers here. Colgan gets it inside, a little turnaround shot there, and that one is good for Escanio. And back to a 3-point Colgan lead. Now the Panthers with some pressure here. Three-pointer in the corner, and that one's good for Allie Wheeler. So that'll tie us at 7. Pass goes left side here. Shot no good, and we got a whistle on the rebound, and they're going to say jump ball. So it'll be Fort Scott basketball. Kyla Osborne checks back in for the Panthers here. 4:10 to play in the first quarter. Gorman able to get it up the floor for Fort Scott and gets to the left side wing. Now gets it to Brown. Inside it goes. Now back outside. Gorman for three. That one in and out, no good. Abby had a really good night last night from the floor, especially from the three-point range. But misses the first one there. Now a held ball. Possession arrow goes to Colgan. 3:53 to play here in the first quarter. Colgan slings it around left side. They get it there to Davis. Janessa Davis. Back inside to Janessa. Now it's loose on the floor. We got another tie ball, and possession arrow favors Fort Scott once again. Lauren O'Brien will check back in for the Panthers. As Janessa Davis comes back out. Fort Scott gets a sub as well, as Claire McElroy will come back in. And Abby Gorman will go out for a quick breather. 3:34 to play in the first quarter. Fort Scott with the basketball. They get it into Wheeler in backcourt. Looks like a 1-2-1-1 press from Colgan here early on. Fort Scott able to break it. Pass goes across to Wheeler. She had to chase it down and then gets it stolen away. Now we got a whistle here, and they're going to get a foul on Fort Scott. It'll be the first one on Wheeler here tonight. Third one on the Lady Tigers in the quarter. Pass goes to the wing. Now back inside. Turnaround shot there. Doesn't go. Rebound Fort Scott. McElroy comes out of there with it. Claire will jog it across the timeline. That gigantic Raider there in the middle of the court. Now gets it to Wheeler. Back inside it goes. As Comstock puts a shot up there. That one doesn't go. And the rebound comes down to Colgan. Go around the lane. Shot there is no good. Putback is blocked and goes out of bounds. Last touch by Fort Scott. Aubrey Yarick will check back in for the Lady Tigers as Comstock will come out. She really struggled scoring-wise last night. Still had a great night in the rebound department, but did not get double figures in scoring for the first time this season last night. She averages, coming into this tournament, averaging right around 15 points per game. Wheeler's got it. They'll come back around. Colgan in a 2-3 zone themselves. Now back out. Three-pointer on the way from Yark. That one rolls around. Doesn't fall. Putback is no good, but another foul on Colgan. Foul on Bella Escanio, her first. J.C. Rogers hits the first free throw here. Second free throw, no good. Rebound loose on the floor, and I think another tie ball. Oh, they're giving Colgan a timeout. I don't know how Colgan had possession there. You have to have possession to call a timeout. But that's the breaks, I guess. So Colgan calls their first timeout here, a 30-second timeout. Keep it here for the moment. Show the girls bracket as updated as we can get it here. So already today, Lafayette defeated Nevada in a consolation semifinal. And in the winners bracket semifinal, Blue Valley Southwest with an upset run to the championship game. They defeated Bartlesville today. And so that's what lies ahead for Colgan or Fort Scott if whoever wins this game tonight. Three-pointer there. That one doesn't go. Rebound on the backside by the Lady Tigers. They'll get it up the floor. Allie Brown. Low pass, but she handles it. Now gets it over to McElroy on the left side. Ball deflected there, but McElroy gets it back. Now ball into the corner. Back to Claire, left wing. Now back to the corner. Fort Scott, and they're going to get a travel here on the Lady Tigers. Claire was not expecting a pass that time, and Aubrey was trying to get it back to her. Now Kylie Comstock will check back in for the Lady Tigers as Claire will go have a quick breather. Ball goes to the right side. Now they get it inside of the block. Shot there off the bottom of the backboard. Rebound Comstock. 1:05 to play in the first quarter. Lady Tigers lead this by 1, 8-7. Fort Scott gets it across. Now over to Yarick on the left wing. Now inside to Comstock. Kylie goes right up. Shot there. Doesn't go. Rebound loose. Picked up by Colgan. And they'll quickly come the other way with 47 seconds to work. Pass back out. Now they'll run the offense through here. Back to the top. Open for three. That's a three-pointer missing. Rebound taken by Brown. So 32 seconds left in the quarter now. Brown gets it up to Gorman. Fort Scott will pull it back out. See if they can run some time here. Colgan, if there is not another tie ball in the next 15 seconds, they will get possession to start the quarter. And that's a nice shot from Abby Gorman. So Fort Scott leads by 3. Colgan will have a chance to go 2 for 1 here. They're going to shoot a 3 really early in that clock. It's no good off the backboard. Rebound is put back, no good. Another rebound by Comstock, and that'll run the clock out and take us to the second quarter with your score. Fort Scott 10, Colgan 7. We'll take a quick break and come right back as this is Fort Scott Lady Tiger basketball on Duckbait TV.
Ready to turn your nails into a work of art? Hi, I'm Delana Beatty, nail tech and artist. I specialize in custom nail art as unique as you are. From vibrant designs to delicate details, I will do my best to bring your vision to life and make sure every set of nails tells your personal story. Get the perfect combination of style, quality, and fun with Nails by Delin at Spoiled Brat Salon in Fort Scott, Kansas.
So Fort Scott will start the second quarter here. Looks like the same, just about the same way they started the game. Gorman, Brown, Comstock, Rogers, and Aubrey Yarick on the floor here in the second quarter. Colgan with the basketball first. Get it over to Davis. Pass deflected there. Now picked back up by Colgan. Now a three-pointer on the way. That one is in and out, no good, and the rebound goes out of bounds. Actually going to call a foul. This one may go on Colgan here. Let's see. Kyla Osborne will pick up her first foul. And Bella Ascanio will check back in for the Lady Panthers. Just underway in the second quarter. Thanks for joining us here this evening. Fort Scott Lady Tigers with the lead in the basketball. So get it across the timeline. Ball back to Colgan here. 7:10 left to go. Now pass goes inside. Harris lost it. Picked back out of there by Fort Scott. Brown trying to keep a handle of it. Now gets it up to Gorman. Now back to Gorman for a three-pointer. That one off the front rim. Put back is good, though, as Aubrey Yarick right in the right place at the right time. Fort Scott could go on a little bit of a run here in the second quarter, give him some breathing room going into the second half. That would be fantastic for sure against this Colgan Lady Panther team that is just a formidable force in the 2A and 3A ranks. They are a 2A school, but their league is primarily 3A, and they're beating up on everybody in their league as well, as they typically do. Pass goes to the elbow to Yarrick. Lost and stolen by Colgan as O'Brien comes up. Here's a layup that's good for Jacayla Davis. And she'll go to the line here. Foul is on Allie Brown. That'll be the first one on the Lady Tigers here in the second quarter. And it looks like Claire McElroy will check back in for Fort Scott. Also, Colgan will get Janessa Davis back on the floor. 3-point Fort Scott Tiger lead, and Colgan with an and-one opportunity. Free throw is up and rolls around and falls through there for Jacayla Davis. So back to a 2-point game. 6 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Ball across the timeline. Now over to Allie Wheeler, who's back on the floor as well for the Tigers. Now into the corner, into the lap of head coach Abby Farabi, and they say it was last touched by Fort Scott. So back to the Panthers. Lauren O'Brien lost the ball for a moment, gets it back. Here's a long two on the way. That one is no good. Rebound comes down to McElroy and the Fort Scott Lady Tigers. Gorman has it out front, setting up the offense for Fort Scott. Now back around to McElroy, over to Wheeler, left side. Now into the corner it goes. Back to Gorman. Out to McElroy. Again, no shot clock this weekend, so Fort Scott doesn't have to worry about that. Here's a drive by McElroy, goes all the way in. Oh my goodness, they're going to call a travel. Fort Scott wanting a foul called on that. It was a little off kilter. It did look a little strange, but there was a lot of contact from Colgan as well. Under 5 minutes to go, the Panthers have the ball back. Inside it goes. Shot there, doesn't go. Rebound batted out of bounds by the Lady Tigers, so it'll stay with Colgan as Kylie Comstock will check back in for the Tigers. And J.C. Rogers will come out for a quick breather. 4:48 left to go. Tell you who's interested, who may be interested in this game as I'm sitting here thinking about it. Pass goes in for Colgan. Layup there is in and out, no good. Rebound chased down by Fort Scott. We'll go into that in a minute. And a travel called on Fort Scott. .435 to play. Ball goes into the corner. O'Brien has it. Now into the corner. Back out to O'Brien. Drive here. We got a whistle on the drive to the lane, and we got a foul on Fort Scott. It'll be the second one on the Lady Tigers here in the quarter. And a second one in the game on Allie Wheeler. Inbounds play. Comes into Ascanio. And they get it over to O'Brien. Shot there, doesn't go. Rebound Colgan, though. Back out to O'Brien. Another shot that doesn't go. And Kylie Comstock will come away with a rebound. Pass comes inside. There's a foul on Colgan. Looks like it's going to be on Ascanio. It'll be her second if it is. And Mariah Harris will check back in for the Panthers. Inbounds play here for Fort Scott. They'll get it in. Tried to get it to Brown and lost out of bounds. Yarrick tried it a couple of different times. The first pass looked like it got deflected right back into Aubrey's hands, so she tried it again and just kind of shoved it that second time and couldn't quite get it all the way over there. 3:51 to play here in the second quarter. Shot there for Mariah Harris goes in. And that one's good. 12-all is the score. Pass goes left side to McElroy. Shot there. That one may have been partially blocked. Goes out of bounds off of Colgan. So Kyla Osborne will check in for the Panthers. Allie Brown has the inbounds play. They'll get it to McElroy in the corner. Player back over to Gorman. I'll tell you what, Colgan is right up in the face of the Tigers here tonight on defense. They are really making the Fort Scott offense work. McElroy has it now. 2:58 to play. Pass back to Comstock. Finally has an open look, but it misses. Flips out. Rebound comes down to Colgan. Pass into the corner. Harris drives into the lane, now kicks it back out. Around right side, three-pointer on the way. That one is good for Osborne, rather. And that'll give Colgan the lead. And they are outscoring the Tigers here in this second quarter by, it was 18-2, now it's 18-4. As the shot good there for Abby Gorman. So substitution here for Colgan. It looks like Fort Scott's going to get one as well. Lorelei Clark will check in. Lorelei, a 5'9" freshman for the Lady Tigers. Two minutes left, and now pass inside. Looks like they're going to get an offensive foul on Colgan. They're going to call it on Harris, maybe? Nope, on somebody else. Looked like an illegal screen. And they're going to call that one on Janessa Davis, her first. But Fort Scott gets the ball back, trailing by 1 here in the second quarter with 1:48 to play. Fort Scott gets it inside. Now Rogers kind of lost the handle on it. Colgan able to pick it up. Here come the Panthers down the floor. Now back out, three-pointer on the way. That one doesn't go. Rebound chased down. It's going to go out of bounds. We'll say it was last touched by Colgan, so Fort Scott basketball with 1:31 left to play. The Panthers are really getting up in Fort Scott's face on defense. I haven't seen too many teams able to play Fort Scott defensively quite like that. It's a good test for the Lady Tigers for sure. Here's a three-pointer by Clark. Swish for Lorelei Clark, the freshman. Averaging just over 1 point per game. She'll obviously add to that total here with that three-pointer. Fort Scott leads by 2 with a minute to go in this second quarter. Pass now goes back to O'Brien. Shot there, doesn't go. Clark grabs the rebound. Now out to Brown. She'll work it across the timeline. 50 seconds left in the half. Pass inside to Rogers. Shot there, blocked. Gorman able to chase it down. Loses the dribble for a minute, and they're going to say it was knocked out of bounds by Colgan as Abby was trying to pass it to a teammate there. 41.5 seconds left to go in this first half. Inbounds play comes to Rogers in the corner. Now back it goes to Gorman. Kick it back out. Clark for three. That one a little strong. Rebound inside by Comstock, and she was fouled on the rebound. Foul on Mariah Harris. That's the fourth one on Colgan here in the quarter, so the next one will put Fort Scott in the bonus. Inbounds play comes right to Comstock. She'll go right back up with it and scores the basket. So Kylie has 4 now, matching the margin of lead for the Lady Tigers here, just under 20 seconds to play in the quarter. Colgan with the basketball in Jacayla Davis's hands. Now they get it back to Davis on the left side wing. Over to O'Brien. Back to Davis. She'll try a three-pointer with 5 seconds on the clock. That one doesn't go. Rebound chased down. And Clark grabs it for Fort Scott, and the clock runs out. And that'll take us to halftime with your score. Fort Scott 19 and Colgan 15. We'll take a short break and come right back. This is Fort Scott Lady Tiger Basketball on Duckbait TV. Edward Jones has been advising customers in the world of finance for over 100 years. Financial advisor Jamie Armstrong continues that tradition in Fort Scott. Contact her by phone at 620-223-1866 or email Jamie at jamie.armstrong@edwardjones.com. If you need residential interior or exterior painting done or your cabinets refinished, contact the folks at Aura et Labora Painting Company, LLC. Fort Scott native Josh Regan is ready to help with your project, so give them a call at 620-288-6617. Patty West and Crystal Cowan are a mother-daughter duo selling personal and commercial insurance. If you need auto, home, boat, motorcycle, ATV, business, or commercial insurance, they've got you covered. Visit them at 3 East Wall Street in downtown Fort Scott or call 620-223-0700. Liberty Savings has been in Fort Scott since 1919, helping community members with their banking needs for over 100 years. Mark, Dave, Jolene, Manda, and Tyler are ready to greet you with a smile and help with whatever you may need. Visit them at 24 South Judson or call 620-223-0300. If you're interested in helping us out at Duckbait Media, bring you more Tiger and Greyhound athletic events, become a sponsor today. Contact us at tonyabady@gmail.com, duckbaitmedia@gmail.com, or find us on Facebook at facebook.com/duckbaitmedia. We're here to bring you the best of the Tigers and Hounds on youtube.com/duckbaittv.
Ready to turn your nails into a work of art? Hi, I'm Delana Beatty, nail tech and artist. I specialize in custom nail art as unique as you are. From vibrant designs to delicate details, I will do my best to bring your vision to life and make sure every set of nails tells your personal story. Get the perfect combination of style, quality, and fun with Nails by Delin at Spoiled Brat Salon in Fort Scott, Kansas.
All right, as we welcome you back into this one here this evening, thanks again for joining us here on Duckbait TV as the Fort Scott Lady Tigers lead the Colgan Lady Panthers here 19-15 at the break. Let's go over your leading scores. First for Fort Scott, several with 4. Abby Gorman has 4. Kylie Comstock has 4. Aubrey Yarrick has 4. Lorelei Clark has 3. Allie Wheeler has 3. And J.C. Rogers has 1 for the Lady Tigers. For Colgan, Mariah Harris has 2. Molly Sweezy has 2. Jaquela Davis has 3. Kyla Osborne has 6. And Bella Ascanio has 2 for the Panthers. And that's where we're at, 19-15. Fort Scott outscored the Panthers 10-7 in the first quarter, and they came back after Colgan went on a nice run. I think it was an 8-2 run to start the second quarter, and came back and ended up outscoring them 9-8 and lead it by 4 here at the break. Let's take a look at your brackets here. We don't have scores for the second round games just yet. We'll try to get those as we go along here tonight. But Fort Scott, with a win, they would be playing Blue Valley Southwest. I believe I read that correctly on the score, or on the bracket out front. I believe Blue Valley Southwest defeated Bartlesville this evening in the other semifinal on this side of the bracket. So the winner would play Blue Valley South at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon here in the new gym. The loser of this game would play at 10 o'clock in the morning here in the new gym against Bartlesville out of Oklahoma. So that's where we're at. On the other side, the Nevada Lady Tigers fell to the Lafayette Lady Lancers earlier this evening. So Lafayette will play in the 5th place game at 1 o'clock in the old gym tomorrow. Nevada will play in the 7th place game at 10 o'clock in the morning. And that Frontenac Blue Springs game is going on right now in the old gym. And the winner of that game will take on Lafayette. Of course, the loser of that game will play Nevada. And you see the times there on your screen there. We'll flash over to the boys tournament bracket for just a moment. The game right before us saw Webb City defeat Nevada, and that one, there Webb City with the win and move on to the championship game. They'll play the winner of Fairgrove and Putnam City. Out of Oklahoma City. So of course, the boys, the Tiger boys, they'll play Colgan at 8:30 in the old gym. That game, of course, will follow this, but in the other gym. And then the winner of that game will play, I believe Frontenac held on. They were up by 4 with like 4 seconds left in their game against Owensville earlier this evening, last I saw. So I believe it'll be Frontenac in the 5th place game and Owensville in the 7th place game tomorrow as well. So Fort Scott trying to get through to the championship game on the girls' side here. Now, I do want to reiterate, we talked a little bit about this last night. We are going to have the girls' game here in its entirety. We're not going to stop before the girls' game gets over, but as soon as the girls' game finishes, we're not even going to really do a post-game for the girls. We're going to shut everything off and get moved over to the boys' gym or the other gym and get as much of the boys' game in as possible. Hopefully, since it's the same 2 teams, they'll be kind to us and hold the start for at least a little bit as the fans move from one gym to the other. But we'll see. Hopefully, we can get over there and get. Hopefully, we can get the whole boys' game. That's our hope and our goal. But if they start early over there, we'll get as much of it done as we can. That's the difficulty. The one drawback to this tournament is the possibility of your teams playing back-to-back in opposite gyms. And so just kind of one of those things you got to deal with. So we do apologize in advance. But, again, hopefully we'll be able to get hopefully we'll get the whole boys game in on Duckbait TV. But we'll get as much of it in as we can, as that game will be coming up after the girls' game here. So looks like it's going to be Fort Scott ball to start the quarter. As they lead this one by 4. Again, the winner moves on to the championship game tomorrow afternoon. The team that loses this one will have to come right back at 10 o'clock in the morning to play the third place game. Fort Scott looks like they will start with Brown, Gorman, McElroy, Comstock, and J.C. Rogers, the 5 who started the game, out there to start the second half for the Lady Tigers. Brown along 2. That went in and out, no good. Rebound chased down, though, by Fort Scott. Comstock has it, tries to get it to McElroy, and it's knocked out of bounds. Actually, Rogers there, but it's knocked out of bounds by Colgan. Actually, I think they're going to call a foul. They're going to call a foul on Colgan here. Didn't quite see that, but we'll take it. Molly Sweezy picks up her first foul. Fort Scott trying to work against this 2-3 zone here. Get it inside to Rogers, now back out to Brown. Alley will kick it over to Gorman on the right wing. Abby stopped over there, tries to pass it off, does, and now Fort Scott's going to call timeout. So a 30-second timeout for the Lady Tigers. .708 to play in the third quarter. Brown setting up the offense for the Tigers. Now tries a 3. That one lips out, no good. Rebound batted. Looked like Comstock and Gorman kind of fighting for it there themselves and knocked it away, and now a foul on the Tigers. They call it on J.C. Rogers. It'll be her second. Colgan with possession now. They get it inside. And the pass lost out of bounds by the Panthers. So it'll go back over to Fort Scott. 19-15 to play here in the third quarter. Inbounds play comes to Brown. Allie will work it up the court. Gets it into the lane. Little floater for Allie Brown. Doesn't go off the back heel. Colgan does not have numbers as they move it up the court quickly, but now they'll pull it back out and reset the offense. Pass goes across the court. Over to O'Brien. Now back around to Davis. Inside it goes. Shot there off the glass, and that one will go in for Harris. Gorman gets it up the floor. Now back to Brown. 5:25 to play in the third quarter. Back around to McElroy. Shot there. That one falls. Rogers with the basket. Fort Scott back up by 4. Colgan quickly into the front court. Shot there a little long. Rebound taken by Fort Scott. McElroy comes away with a rebound. Ahead to Brown, who's open. Over to Rogers. Layup is good! Quick transition bucket for the Lady Tigers. They lead now by 6 with 4:50 to play. And another steal by Fort Scott. Rogers comes away with it. McElroy. I'll get it straight eventually. McElroy with the layup off the steal, and Colgan has seen enough, at least for the moment. They're going to take a quick timeout. It'll be a full timeout, so not as quick as I thought there. We'll take it with them. Back in just a few moments. This is Fort Scott Lady Tiger basketball on Duckbait TV. Edward Jones has been advising customers in the world of finance for over 100 years. Financial advisor Jamie Armstrong continues that tradition in Fort Scott. Contact her by phone at 620-223-1866 or email Jamie at jamie.armstrong@edwardjones.com. So 4:44 left to go here in the third quarter. Fort Scott Lady Tigers with an 8-point lead now over Colgan after a couple of quick transition baskets. One off of a missed basket, another off of a steal. Colgan will go right side on the wing. Now back left side. Pass goes inside, now back out, and Fort Scott will bring it back the other way. Now over to Yark, who's back into the game. Three-pointer, a little short. Rebound taken by Colgan. Ahead it goes to Harris. Layup there is off the front lip, no good. Rebound comes to Fort Scott. The Tigers push it up the floor. Oh, what a bad pass. Stolen away by the Panthers. Just under 4 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Pass goes back to the top of the key. Now back left side it goes. Colgan running some clock. Again, no shot clock this weekend, so they got plenty of time to work through whatever they want to here. CNC as a league, the schools in the CNC as a league collectively opted out of the shot clock opportunity this year. Here's a three-pointer on the way. That one doesn't go. Rebound chased down by Colgan, and now Fort Scott trying to get a tie-up, and they will. It'll stay with Colgan with 3:05 to go, and Allie Brown will check back in for the Tigers. Colgan to get a couple of subs as well. Molly Sweezy back in the contest. They also get Janessa Davis back on the floor. Fort Scott still leading by 8 here. Pass goes inside. Ball now knocked away and stolen by Fort Scott. Ahead to Brown. She had Yarick for a moment, but it looked like that lane closed up just a little bit. Now back around to Rogers as they'll reset the offense. Now they get it to Yarick on the opposite side. Ball loose, and now we get a whistle and a foul on Colgan, I believe. And it will go on Janessa Davis, her second. Fort Scott with the inbound play here. Now they get it into Comstock, and she'll use the backboard and smack that one home. So now that lead balloons to 10, largest of the night for Fort Scott. Pass goes inside, and a whistle, and it looks like a foul on the Lady Tigers, and it'll be a shooting foul for Bella Escanio. First foul on that on Aubrey. And the free throw is good. So now Kylie will check out as McElroy comes back on. Second free throw on the way, and that one's good. So Ascanio makes them both. Now Fort Scott will work it across the timeline themselves. Back over to Brown on the left side wing. Back across, now back to Brown for three. Just a little short. Rebound chased down by Claire, though. Now she'll get it back in the lane. We got a whistle. What are they going to call here? Foul on Colgan. Foul's going to go on Jacayla Davis. Inbound play for the Tigers. Got to get it in. Got to get it in. There they go. So they get it to JC. Now back out it comes to Claire. Now Brown on the wing. Fort Scott trying to run through their offense a little bit here. Brown for three. Just off the rim. No good. Hit the front of the rim. Went straight up in the air. I thought maybe it might come back through, but it didn't. Colgan all the way down the other end. Layup there is good for Jacayla Davis. We'll cut that Tiger lead back to 8 at 27-21. Yeah, the lead is 6. I can't do math. Here's a three-pointer on the way. That one is good for Abby Gorman. 30-21. We'll just stick with the numbers I see on the screen there for right now. Pass goes inside, and it's loose now. A tie-up again, and I think Fort Scott's going to get the ball. If it is a possession, a held possession, and that is the call. So Fort Scott will get it back here. Lorelei Clark will check back in for the Lady Tigers. Also Kylie Comstock back in for Fort Scott. Inbounds pass. Little off trying to get it to Abby Gorman there, and it goes out of bounds. So Fort Scott will turn it over. Now a three-pointer on the way for Colgan. That one is good. Kayla Davis hits the three-pointer there. Shot at the other end by Fort Scott. That one's good. So Gorman quickly up the court and gets the bucket again for Fort Scott. 32-24. Pass inside. We got a whistle and I think a foul on Fort Scott here, as the pass was a little bit high there for Ascanio to handle. Foul goes on Claire. That's number 2 on Claire tonight. Inbounds play comes in. Pass deflected, but Colgan gets it back. 8 seconds to go in the quarter. Ball loose. They kick it to Jacayla Davis now. 4 on the clock. Now around, three-pointer on the way, too short. Put back is no good at the horn, and that'll take us to the end of the third quarter with your score, Fort Scott 32 and Colgan 24. Take a short break and come right back. This is Fort Scott Lady Tiger basketball on Duckbait TV. If you need residential interior or exterior painting done or your cabinets refinished, contact the folks at Aura et Labora Painting Company, LLC. Fort Scott native Josh Regan is ready to help with your project, so give them a call at 620-288-6617. So 32-24, Fort Scott with the lead here. Inbounds play for the Panthers to start the quarter. They get it in, back out. Here's a three-pointer on the way. That one is good from Kyla Osborne. She's got 3 of those tonight. And the lead cut back to 5 here. Fort Scott got a whistle, and they're going to get a foul here on the Panthers. Inbounds play comes to Comstock. Shot there off the glass, no good. Rebound chased down by Gorman, had it for a moment. Now it's loose again. Finally pulled out of there by Rogers, and Fort Scott will reset the offense. Brown back with it. Over to McElroy. Pass. We got a whistle here. And it looks like another foul. Mariah Harris will pick up her foul, second foul. And a turnover here. Back over to Colgan. Shot there, doesn't go. Rebound fought for, tie ball. And I think Fort Scott's going to get possession. And Colgan looks like they're going to pick them up in full court with their full court press. And we got a whistle here. And Comstock a little bit slow to get up. She tweaked an ankle against Pittsburgh a couple of weeks ago. Actually, it may have been last Tuesday, so a little bit more than a week. And it looks like she's going to stay in the game here. It was one of those that she came out of the game. It was late in the game. She came out of the game and kind of worked with it on the sideline, but also one of those things that kind of looked like she could have played if the game was closer than it was. Fort Scott with a nice win over Pittsburgh that night, but hopefully she's okay. It looks like she's maybe going to need to come out. She's telling everybody she's okay. Ball's loose on the floor. We got a whistle, and now another foul on Colgan. And Coach Farabi not happy with some of these calls on the Lady Panthers here. The foul is going to go on Lauren O'Brien. And, yeah, Kylie will come out for a moment. Give her a breather here. Now Fort Scott's going to take a timeout. Give Kylie even a little bit longer to kind of rest up from that as Aubrey Yarick checked in for her. Full timeout for the Lady Tigers. Again, we will stay here until the conclusion of the girls' game, but as soon as the girls' game is over, we're going to tear things down and get headed over to the other gym. So we will not have a closing here to the girls' game tonight like we normally do. We're going to get over there and hopefully and get as much of the boys' game in as we can. Hopefully we'll get the whole boys' game. That's our hope. But you never know sometimes with the way tournaments go. So hopefully they'll give us a little bit of a buffer since It's Colgan and Fort Scott again. We're just over in the other gym. We're on the boys' side of the bracket, but we'll see how that plays out. As we go forward here this evening. Inbounds play comes to Claire McElroy. The Frontenac boys game went longer than the Nevada boys game. Those two games preceded this time slot. So hopefully that's a good omen that maybe we'll have a little bit extra time, but they're going to call a foul on Fort Scott here. Foul on J.C. Rogers, her third. Colgan gets it up the floor. Shot there is good from the elbow. Jaquela Davis with the bucket for Colgan. Back to a three-point game. Pass goes over to Gorman. Now back to Alley. Ball loose, knocked away. Colgan gets it back. A layup is no good. And Coach Farabi wanting an intentional foul. Allie Brown kind of shoved her in the back a little bit there. Coach Farabi, oh my gosh. So the intentional foul called after Coach Farabi screamed and ranted and raved about it and came about 3/4 out of the way onto the court. Free throw's no good. Second free throw on the way, and that one is also no good for Lauren O'Brien. And a lot of players will tell you the toughest free throws are the ones in that scenario with nobody else around the lane, because you never shoot free throws like that. Don't even really shoot free throws. A lot of teams don't shoot free throws like that in practice unless you're, before practice, after practice, doing some extra stuff. Most of the time you have people around the lane. Here's a pass. It's inside, knocked away, loose on the floor. Still loose on the floor. Is it backcourt? It is backcourt. Ball back to the Tigers. Mariah Harris got a hold of that ball on the plus side of half court, so Fort Scott will get it back. Brown brings it across the timeline. Comes back left side to Gorman. Gorman drives, stops there, now kicks it back out to Brown. Brown trying to work through and threw it away. Ball back over to Colgan. Saw this a little bit last night in the Lafayette game. Fort Scott got a little bit tight towards the end of that game last night as the score got closer late in the fourth quarter there. And it appears that may be happening a little bit here tonight. Jaquela Davis brings it across the timeline. Pass comes left side. Ball knocked away by McElroy. She'll take it and then lost it. And now Colgan's got a layup down the floor. It's good, and the foul. Tough luck for the Lady Tigers there. 4:56 left to go. The and one could tie this game up. Kylie Comstock will come back in. O'Brien at the free throw line. That's the fourth one on Rogers. Free throw is no good. Rebound chased down in the corner by Fort Scott. They get it to Brown. Fort Scott needs a bucket quick. Or needs a bucket on this possession. Not necessarily quick, but they need one on this possession. Brown gets it across the timeline. Got to watch that 5-second call. Now they get it back over to McElroy on the left side wing. Claire looking, now finds Brown. Inside to Comstock. Shot there. Too strong. Rebound loose all the way out. Chased down by Colgan. And another foul on Fort Scott, and that may be, let's see, if it's on McElroy, that'll be okay for Fort Scott in their totals. Let's see who they called it on. Yep, they're going to get it on Claire, and that's the third one on Claire tonight. So free throws now for Jacayla Davis, who has made the only one she shot so far tonight. Misses that one. A little short. And now Fort Scott's going to call a timeout. Coach Steps wanting to talk things over just a little bit. Fort Scott leading by 1 with 4:26 to play. It'll be a 30-second timeout. If I've got my calculations right, that's their final 30-second timeout of the night. Again, if you're just joining us, we are going to, as soon as the girls' game is over, we are going to break things down and head over to the other gym and get as much of the boys' game as we can tonight. Again, hopefully we'll get all of the boys' game, but you never know. That game slated to start at 8:30, but if they can, they may start early over there. We'll see. Free throw, second one on the way for Colgan. That one is good, and we're tied. Fort Scott gets it across the timeline. Now Brown with a free shot from the free throw line. Doesn't go. Rebound, Gorman on the backside for Fort Scott. Gets it back out to Allie. Around to Comstock. She'll try a shot. That one also no good. Rebound, and we got a whistle, and we're going to have a foul on who? And that'll be the fourth foul on Jacayla Davis here tonight. And Aubrey Yarrick will go to the free throw line. Makes the first. Fort Scott needed that. Second one on the way, and that one's good. Colgan works it around to the left side. Or right side, rather. Now it comes back left side wing. Drive in, shot there. No good, but a foul going to be called on Fort Scott. So first foul of the night on Kylie Comstock. And that will send Colgan back to the free throw line. And again, it is Lauren O'Brien, and she misses the first. Second one on the way. Missed that one as well. And the rebound is finally picked up there by Fort Scott. It's knocked out of bounds by Colgan. Fort Scott will inbound the basketball. They get it into McElroy, now to Gorman. Gorman gets it across the timeline for Fort Scott. Now up the right sideline. Now they get it back to McElroy, around to Brown. Fort Scott leading by 2. Try to get that one passed back. Now they get it back to Brown. Into the corner. Yarrick for 3. Get in there. Nope, too strong. Rebound. Chased down by Yarrick, and then we got a foul. And is this going to be on the Panthers again? It is going to be on Mariah Harris, her third. Aubrey Yarrick back to the free throw line, makes the first. And now Jacayla Davis will check back in with those 4 fouls. Second one is good for Yarrick. Back to a 4-point advantage for the Tigers. Still 3:15 to play. Three-pointer on the way. That one is in there. It rattles home for Janessa Davis. So back to a 1-point game with 3:02 to play. Lady Tigers get it across the timeline. And now ball knocked back into backcourt by Colgan. Fort Scott able to recover over to Brown. Thought about a three. Now we'll pull it back down and reset the offense a little bit. Gets it back to McElroy. Claire inside to Comstock. Back out to Brown. Back around to Claire. Just outside of the center circle. Now over to Yarick. Inside it goes. Comstock turnaround shot. Doesn't go. Rebound taken by Colgan. And now we got a whistle and tie ball is called. And now Farabi back out to half court yelling about a foul in there. I agree. I think there was a foul on Colgan on the shot. There was some contact there. There was also contact on the rebound as well, and none of that was called. And then they called, in my opinion, kind of a weak tie ball. Colgan had possession. Fort Scott just kind of put a hand on it, and they called tie ball. It is Colgan possession here with 2:30, and now we got a timeout on the court. So timeout on the floor, and I did not catch who called that timeout. So Colgan calling that timeout. So both teams now down to 2 timeouts remaining for regulation. Colgan gets it across the timeline, trailing by 1. Drive into the lane. Shot is good. Floater good there for Jacayla Davis. And Colgan takes the lead for the first time in a while here, 37-36. Fort Scott will work it across the timeline with Brown. Now inside to Kylie. Kylie puts one up. Again, a lot of contact. They don't call a foul there. Taken by Colgan. Now Brown out front, trying to put some pressure. Ball deflected by Gorman, but Colgan gets it back. Now pushing back out, and that's a foul. That's the thing that's frustrating for a lot of fans, is that fouls are called differently at half court and in the paint by a lot of crews, not just this crew, not just 1 or 2, by a lot of crews. They let a lot of contact a lot of teams get away with a lot of contact in the paint, and then they call some things that you don't have to have a whole lot of contact out front, and that's the frustrating thing for fans, because it's not consistent. A foul at half court does not seem to be a foul in the paint. And that's really what's frustrating there. Colgan's helping him out with the missed free throws here. Another missed free throw and another missed free throw, and Fort Scott grabs the rebound. So Jacayla Davis misses both free throws there. And now Fort Scott with another opportunity here. Brown for 3. Too strong. Put back on the backside. That one's too short, but Gorman coming away, and now a tie ball. This one will remain with Fort Scott with 1:23 to play. Inbounds play comes in. They get it to Brown in the corner. So drive the baseline, put one up, a little too strong, put back is no good. Another try, this one finally get a foul called, and Comstock will head to the free throw line. That'll be the third one on Bella Ascanio. And missed the free throw. Cole going to get a sub here, as they will get Kyla Osborne back on the floor, replacing Lauren O'Brien. Second free throw goes, so we're tied. And now Fort Scott will call a timeout. So they'll be down to 1 remaining. Fort Scott down to 1 timeout left. Colgan still with 2 timeouts remaining, 1:14 to play. Again, at the conclusion of the girls' game here, we will tear down as quickly as we can, get back over to the old gym, and get set up and get you as much of the boys' game as we can. Again, the boys' game slated to start at 8:30, but that's just kind of a timing. They will start 15 minutes after the previous game gets over with. I'm fairly certain. Fort Scott will come out of the timeout. Gorman, Brown, Yarick, Comstock, and McElroy. 1:14 to play. And now Colgan coming out of the timeout a little bit late. They will get the ball in bounds. The official, you don't see that very often. The official, tired of waiting, he put the ball down and started counting. They do get it in time, though. Tie ball game. They'll get it down low to Escondia. Shot there doesn't go. Rebound on the backside by Yarick. Ahead to Brown. Fort Scott could save for the final shot if they can run 54 seconds off the clock. Again, no shot clock this week here in Frontenac. With that shot clock rule, we will not have a shot clock in Girard next week either. Shot there blocked, though, by Colgan, and they will come away with it. Ball out of bounds! Oh, they say it was last touched by Fort Scott. So with 40.8 to go, and now Colgan, I think, is going to try to call a timeout. And they'll take a 30-second timeout, and I think that's the last 30 they have. They'll have one full left. So each team, I think, has one full timeout remaining. .8 seconds left to go. 37-37, both teams in the bonus. So we'll see how things go here out of the timeout. It'll be Colgan ball on the near sideline, just to the left of the big foot on the big Raider in the middle of the court. Colgan will get it across the timeline in the hands there of Jacayla Davis. So go left side with it. Now back to Osborne. Osborne goes inside. Looks like they're going to hold for one shot here. 20 seconds left. Pass goes right. Now back inside. Back around. 10 seconds to shoot. 10 seconds on the game clock. Now down to 5 seconds. Over to Davis. Davis drives in. Shot there. Doesn't go, and we're going to overtime. Patty West and Crystal Cowan are a mother-daughter duo selling personal and commercial insurance. If you need auto, home, boat, motorcycle, ATV, business, or commercial insurance, they've got you covered. Visit them at 3 East Wall Street in downtown Fort Scott or call 620-223-0700. So as we get ready to start overtime, again, we will stay here until the conclusion of the girls' game. We'll have 4 extra minutes at least. And then we will head over and get as much of the boys' game as we can. Again, the fouls, team fouls do carry over to overtime, just like they did have in the past before the 1-and-1 was taken away. Pass here goes inside, and we're going to get a foul on Colgan, it looks like. Kylie misses the first foul. The foul was called on Kyla Osborne, her third. Second free throw is good for Kylie. So Fort Scott takes a 1-point lead. 38-37. Just underway in overtime. Pass goes inside. Shot blocked. And then out of bounds off of Colgan. Mariah Harris reached back to touch the ball, and she was standing just barely on the baseline there. So Fort Scott will get it back here. And again, they turned it right over, though, right back over to Colgan. Now we got a whistle, and they're going to get a foul on the Tigers here inside. Kylie Comstock will pick up the foul. It'll send Mariah Harris to the line for two. And we got a wet spot on the floor. They're trying to clean up here. First free throw is no good. Substitution here is Kyla Osborne will check out, and they'll get Lauren O'Brien back into the game. Both free throws no good, and Fort Scott comes away with a rebound. 3:15 to play. Pass goes right side, and now a bad pass stolen away again. O'Brien brings it up the floor. Now she'll pull it back out. Fort Scott trying to create some smothering defense there, but didn't quite work to get a turnover. Now Colgan back around to Janessa Davis. Now back to O'Brien at the top of the key. She'll reset the offense. Goes to Jacayla Davis. Three-pointer from Davis. Too short. Rebound loose. Thrown towards the corner, and I think Fort Scott touched it and went out of bounds. Pass back out now. Colgan looks like they're just trying to run some clock here. Get the ball inside. Now back over to Davis. Shot there. Lips out. No good. Rebound. Fought for. Lost. Now we got a whistle. A tie up. Maybe. Yes, it is a tie up. It'll stay with Colgan with 2:19 to play. Inbounds play comes in. They get it back to the left. Shot there. Blocked, but a foul. Going to be called on Fort Scott. Foul on Abby is her first. Free throws coming for Colgan, and another miss. This one by Kyla Osborne. J.C. Rogers will check back in for the Lady Tigers. Remember, she's got 4 fouls. Of course, Jacayla Davis has 4 as well for Colgan. You like to see Fort Scott go right at her and get her fouled out of this game. Second free throw is good. So that'll tie us up again, 38 all. Inbounds play for Fort Scott. Comes in, they get it to Brown. Brown brings it across the timeline for the Lady Tigers. She's got it on the left side, now brings it back to the top. Looks like a man-to-man defense now for, well, no, they are kind of a matchup zone. Here's a three-pointer on the way from McElroy. That one doesn't go. Comstock grabs the rebound, put back. That one no good. Rebound loose again and finally picked out of there by Brown. Over to Gorman. She'll drive in. 15-footer from the wing. Doesn't go, and a foul is called. A late foul, but they did get the foul, and now Abby will go to the line. And that is the 5th foul on Jacayla Davis. So Jacayla Davis will foul out of this one. And we'll see how that affects Fort Scott's offense going forward. Gorman gets the first free throw. Second one, a little too short. Rebound, Colgan. Who does Colgan go to with Jacayla Davis out of the game? That'll be the interesting thing to see as we have a minute 40 to play. Pass goes left side. Now back around. Three-pointer on the way. That one doesn't go. Nobody boxed out, though, for Fort Scott. And a foul is going to be called on the Lady Tigers. Foul on Claire McElroy. She's disappointed with that, but nobody boxed out Janessa Davis. And she's going to have a chance to give Colgan the lead here. First free throw is up, and that one's no good. I would imagine one of the first things Coach Farabi is going to do on Monday at practice is work with free throws here. Here's the second one. That one is good. So that'll tie us again, 39 all. With a minute 25 to play. Pass inside to Comstock. Shot there, blocked. Kylie grabbing for the rebound. Will tie it up. And it'll stay with Fort Scott here with a minute 17 to play. Brown to inbound the ball. Does get it into Rogers. Now over to Gorman. Back out. Around to McElroy. She'll dribble around a couple of defenders, drive in there, shot doesn't go, and a foul over the back, it looks like, on Colgan here. We'll see, do they call it on Mariah Harris? It is, and that's her 4th. So that will send J.C. Rogers to the free throw line. First free throw is good for J.C. Second free throw up there, and that one lips out, no good. Rebound batted towards the corner. Oh, and they're going to call a foul on Fort Scott. And if that's on McElroy, that's her 5th. So it is the 5th on McElroy, so she will foul out. Aubrey Arick will come back in for her. And Bella Escanio will go to the free throw line. She's 2 for 2 there from there tonight so far. Here's the first one. That one doesn't go. Second one on the way. That one is good. And we're tied again, 40-40. Brown gets it across the timeline. Over to Gorman. Now back to the top of the key. We're tied at 40. Can Fort Scott run 44 seconds off the clock and get the last shot? Possession arrow favors Colgan if we need to know that information here later. That ball was knocked out of bounds. Fort Scott has really struggled with Bella Escanio inside tonight. Really haven't gotten around her very often in this one so far. Inbounds play, we got a whistle and now a foul, or a whistle at least anyway, and Fort Scott's going to call a timeout. There was a collision there, and I think everybody's up and okay. Fort Scott calls their final timeout. Actually, I messed this up the other night as well with the boys. They get an extra timeout. Each team gets an extra timeout per overtime period. So that should knock Fort Scott just down to just one. With 36.7 seconds to play. Again, as soon as we get done here, we will close up shop as quickly as we can and get over to the other gym and get set up and get you as much of the boys' game as we can get you. Boys' game scheduled to start at 8:30. It's now 8:32. Hopefully, they'll give us a little bit of a reprieve as it'll be Fort Scott and Colgan again, just in the opposite gym. You would like to think that they would hold the start until at least this one is over, but we'll see. Inbounds play comes into Fort Scott. We'll get it back around. Brown near the out-of-bounds line, and the pass is stolen. Aubrey Yarrick was not expecting that pass, and now a shot is blocked, but a foul on Allie Brown, and that will send Lauren O'Brien to the free throw line. Third one on Brown, actually fourth one on Brown. I missed one there. And this is O'Brien, who hasn't made one yet tonight, misses again. See what she can do with this one here. 27.2 seconds left to go. If she misses, Fort Scott's going to need to get this rebound. Here's the second free throw. That one also misses, and Gorman comes away with a rebound. Ahead to Brown, 20 seconds left. Over to McElroy. Claire brings it to the top of the key. Lost, tie ball, and Colgan gets the possession with 8 seconds left in overtime. And now Colgan will call a timeout to set up a play here. And you can imagine that they will hold for the final shot if they can. Fort Scott's going to have to get up and defense them. Don't foul, but play good, hard defense on Colgan and hope they miss a shot at the end and we go to a second overtime here. Or if they can miss one early enough and Fort Scott can get a quick shot and a look at winning this one here in the first overtime. 8.2 seconds left. Fort Scott and Colgan tied at 40, and it'll be Colgan ball right near half court. Right in front of the scores table, it looks like. Five seconds. Pass deflected. Colgan gets it back. Don't foul. Here's a shot at the buzzer. No good. Double overtime. We'll take a short break and come back. Fort Scott Lady Tiger basketball on Duckbait TV. If you're interested in helping us out at Duckbait Media, bringing more Tiger and Greyhound athletic events, become a sponsor today. Contact us at tonyabady@gmail.com, duckbaitmedia@gmail.com, or find us on Facebook at facebook.com/duckbaitmedia. We're here to bring you the best of the Tigers and Hounds on youtube.com/duckbaittv. So we'll have 4 more minutes here. Tied at 40. Fort Scott wins the tip of overtime number 2, and they will head back the other direction. Again, both teams in the bonus. I guess you could say double bonus. There's not really a difference anymore in high school basketball, at least in Kansas. Gorman, Brown, Comstock, Rogers, and Aubrey Yarick on the floor to start this quarter or this overtime period for Fort Scott. Colgan gets a steal. Pass goes into the corner. Ball loose. Still now picked up by Colgan. Deflected, but Colgan gets it back. Ball loose. Knocked away again by Fort Scott, but Colgan able to get the ball here. Pass goes right, now back around to the top. Ball loose, deflected, stolen by Fort Scott. Ball inside, shot there, doesn't go, rebound out of bounds. And they'll give it back to Colgan. Played just over a minute and a half here in the second overtime period. Inside, back outside it goes. Ball loose, stolen by Fort Scott. And they're not going to count it. They're not going to count the basket. Foul on the floor, but Abby's going to have a chance at free throws here. It's the third foul on Janessa Davis. First free throw misses just off the front rim. Molly Sweezy will check back in for Colgan here. Second free throw for Abby, makes it. She's a 50% free throw shooter coming into the tournament this week. And is 2 for 4 at the line in this one here tonight. Fort Scott by 1. Colgan nearly lost it out near the center circle. Now a runner there, that one goes. And finally something goes in for Lauren O'Brien. She got 4 points now, but 2 jumpers. She has really struggled at the free throw line tonight, especially down the stretch in the fourth quarter. But Colgan has the lead. All of that can be erased right now. We got a whistle here and timeout Fort Scott. So Fort Scott, again, you get an additional timeout per every overtime period, I believe is the rule. So Fort Scott should still have 1 timeout left after taking that timeout there. And again, those tuning in to watch the boys game, we will have as much of it as we can get you. We do apologize. It's the lateness of this one. We'll get everything torn down and get over there as quickly as we can. And hopefully we will be able to get as much as we can of the boys game. I would imagine if they were holding the start, they're probably not holding it any longer. So, like I said, we'll get as much as we can and do apologize for those that would like to see the whole boys game. We'll get as much of it as we can, and we'll go from there. Inbounds play goes to Brown. Fort Scott trailing by 1 here. Allie finds Yarrick over to Gorman on the right side wing. Now inside. Three-pointer on the way. Good! JC Rogers puts Fort Scott back up by 2. Runner in the lane again. This one a little too short. Putback, though, is good. Right over the lip of the rim for Mariah Harris. Tied at 44. Fort Scott with 35 seconds to go. Possession. Inside it goes to Comstock. Turnaround shot. Missed. Put back. Is good. And a foul! Foul, and if that's on Mariah Harris, that might be number 5. It is. So she will have to come out, and they will get Molly Sweezy back in the contest. And Kylie makes the second free throw, or makes the only free throw. That'll put Fort Scott up by 3 now with 27 seconds to play. And Fort Scott will take a timeout, their final timeout of the game to this point. So 27 seconds to play. In the second overtime. Colgan basketball. They get it into Lauren O'Brien. Ball loose. And now we got a whistle here, and they call a travel. Wow. Thought for sure they'd call a foul on the Tigers here, and now Colgan may have to foul, as Fort Scott will have a chance to inbound. If they can't get a steal on the inbound, there's 14.6 seconds to play. Gorman flashing towards the offensive side. We got a whistle, and this will be a foul on Colgan now. So Abby will go back to the free throw line to try to make it a 2-possession game. That'll be the 4th foul on Kyla Osborne. And again, Abby will have 2 shots. First one is good. Second one is good. 5-point Tiger lead. Ball loose, and they're going to call travel. 6 seconds left to play. In double overtime, it looks like Coach Farabi has called off her team. Fort Scott will win this one in double overtime, 49-44. Thanks for watching here on Duckbait TV. We will get over to the boys' game as quickly as we can, and that's where we will see you next. Thanks for watching tonight here on Duckbait TV.